Well, tá muid ionta sásta le bheith in san Spóirt store inniu. Cion do na honna de ceol is far sa dóin. We're very, very excited to be back on a stage and hope you're all keeping well wherever you are. We're going to start off with a tune that we composed together. This one is called Ealoíon na Muc, which means the Pass of the Dolphin, and was inspired by lots of trips in the West last summer when we saw loads of dolphins everywhere we were, and it was just very inspiring. So the place, Ealoíon na Muc, is actually just off the coast of Mallinbeg in Glencolmkill, where John's father's from. So we'll give this a go.
I suppose, on the Quay Peninsula was Gaeltacht up until the 1960s, and it has an enormous legacy in terms of the Irish of Ulster, the Ulster Irish, one of the three main dialects of Irish, and it actually was the birthplace, we think, of the greatest of all the Ulster poets. What was his name? Seamus McGahon. Yeah, and he was really, really well known. Widely regarded. His songs were known in all across Ireland, and so those songs have come back into the tradition and have been given, I suppose, a new lease of life recently with people like Páirt Mhaoinithe and Jerry O'Connor going back into the archives and trying to take old tunes and old songs out again. But we have been inspired, I suppose, by that legacy of music and poetry. And we've also been involved in a number of projects that takes old poetry and puts new music onto it to try and create new songs. And it's amazing, you know, when you take a poem that's just on a sheet, and it's really hard to remember all these words. And once you put a melody to it, it seems to inject life into it. And it's a wonderful way, I think, to communicate those words to other people. And the words are suddenly given a new lease of life.
Yeah, it's almost like putting another layer on it. So you're taking it from a 2D into a more 3D version, where you're painting a picture of the mood of the poem. So we've really gotten into that in the last few years, kind of taking poetry, especially from this area, from Dundalk and Omeath and Oriel in general, and trying to make new songs out of them. So it's a lovely thing to be working on. Shivayoetsa shall bagerej emask moini eril mara ekshukash kladi magines ranona oluin kasar Shivayoetsa shall bagerej emask moini okrokri o urchaknya o egnestuark o heinz kanta Shivayoetsa shall bagerej emask moini eril mara ekshukash kladi magines ranona oluin kasar So that was a song that we composed together called Fuishiv a Yoadsa. Well, we composed the music, and the beautiful words came from a great poet from the west of Ireland called Marcin O'Diron. And it means I will find solace, which I think is very appropriate for right now, and I hope that you enjoyed it. He talks about walking along the beach morning and evening and being amongst his own people in the West at home. So a very beautiful poem. We're going to continue with a couple of lively reels for you now. The first one is called George Peoples, and the second one is Seán sa Cheo, which means Sean in the mist, or it really means drunk Sean. So it's very appropriate today as we have a beautiful misty morning outside and we're in a pub. 1, 2, 3, go! Piece now composed by brilliant guitarist Steve Cooney, and delighted that he's been awarded the RTE Folk Awards Musician of the Year or Lifetime Achievement Award, which is absolutely wonderful. An amazing musician, amazing composer, and he actually wrote this piece for myself and John. It's called Copaleen Dove in a High Riv, which means Little Black Horse in a Dream. Well, I think the fact that the Spóirt store was in Dundalk was always a huge thing for me as a professional musician, or even to make the transition into being a professional musician. The fact that you had a stage here in a local place that was kind of highly regarded across Ireland and even in Europe, you know, as part of a kind of a series of tour dates that you could put the Spóirt store in as one of those, really definitely made a difference to me. And it actually gave me a little bit of confidence being from Dundalk, saying, well, we are on a par with wherever any other size of town in Europe. And I think, you know, just having the facilities here and having the support here of the local kind of music community and arts community, and getting to know all those people and growing up together, has really made a huge difference to my life as a musician, as I'm sure to John.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in the Spóirt store in its infancy, and maybe even before it was a venue, you know. I remember there were two Marks once upon a time here, and coming in here when they were just renovating the place, and you know, I saw it as in a very small room to a little bit bigger room, and it's kind of grown, and it's very professional. It's on a very professional scale now at the minute, but even before that massive investment was made, I think it had, as soon as the Spóirt store opened its door and showed that it had great integrity, and it was opening its door for all the right reasons, I think it really got the support of the artistic community straight away. You had people, like the most famous musicians in Ireland were singing Spóirt store's praises as soon as they opened the door, you know. So
and I suppose as young musicians, like as teenagers and young 20-year-olds or whatever, to be able to come here and see the best acts inspires you to create great music, you know. So if we didn't have access to those people coming as teenagers, you know, you'd never aspire to be as good as you want, you know, and it does open your mind in that way. So I think it's been amazing to see some of those concerts that the Spóirt store has created. Like, I mean, John Spillane sticks out for me because I'm a huge fan of his, but he did play here so much. And Mary Coughlin, I used to come and see Mary Coughlin playing here and was blown away with her shows as well. And so many, like, just endless, brilliant artists. It's been a pleasure to play here, and thanks to Derek Turner and to Mark and everyone here, the whole team that have put all this together, and trying to support local artists, and our local venue is absolutely brilliant, so keep it up. We're going to finish with two tunes. The first one was composed by a Scottish bagpiper called Robert Matheson, one of my favourite pieces. It's called Desert Storm. And the second tune is one that I composed to go after the tune, and it's called Rounding Malin Head, inspired by the fiddle playing of Donegal. So thanks very much, agus ihuai.